If I told you you could get a fully functioning electro-acoustic guitar that would take you from the bedroom to the stage for £68, you'd tell me I was full of
We thought exactly the same, but my God were we wrong. You need this cheap Harley Benton guitar. Here's why.
So we were having a conversation the other day about our first guitars and just how god-awful they were, and this got us thinking.
What is out there these days, and are they any better? After a few minutes scrolling online, we came across this Harley Benton cheap guitar, better known as the Harley Benton D120ce from the Thomann website.
With it only costing £68 and being an electro-acoustic, we were extremely sceptical to say the least.
After reading the spec sheet, we thought, what the hell? We bought one each, and within a few days they landed on our doorstep, where we took them inside, opened them up with a nervous excitement and not knowing what to expect. We're very much looking forward to doing a cheap guitar review, as it's something we haven't yet done on the Tickety channel.
So right off the bat, we're going to quickly look over these guitars and run you through the specs. So this guitar right here is the Harley Benton D120ce-TB. The CE, by the way, stands for cutaway electric, and the TB stands for translucent blue.
It's a lovely colour.
It really is. It's absolutely stunning.
And onto mine, more of a natural colour, which is the Harley Benton D120ce-NT. NT just standing for natural.
It's a really nice classic design though, isn't it? Really
it is, very
beautiful.
much so, yeah.
You can also get these guitars in a wonderful vintage sunburst as well as a lovely black, which we'll lay over onto the screen now.
Absolutely. And without further ado, let's get on with this Harley Benton D120ce review. So we'll just start with the body then. This is a typical dreadnought design with a spruce top and a beautiful mahogany back and sides. It looks gorgeous, doesn't it?
Absolutely stunning,
really
yeah.
nice.
It really is.
And it's just got the typical X bracing.
The neck is also mahogany. It's got a lovely C shape, really fits into the hand nicely. It's got a dovetail neck joint, and the fretboard is roseacre, which is a thermally treated maple.
And believe it or not, for £68 you even get a nice cream coloured binding around the body and the neck there.
Yeah, and you sometimes don't even get that for something that's worth 500, 600 quid.
Absolutely not, no.
Really, really lovely. So there's 20 frets all in all.
But that being said though, they're not like a jumbo fret, are they? They're quite just like a standard.
Yeah, just standard fret wire.
Like a thinner gauge fret wire, really.
Yeah.
So the Harley Benton website describes this guitar as having a 650mm scale length, which roughly equates to 25.5 inch.
And it has a 42.5mm note width.
Yes.
So it's pretty standard, really.
It is.
Yeah.
Just has the standard dot inlays.
So the bridge is also roseacre, so it's exactly the same wood as the fretboard.
Believe it or not, you get a preamp with this.
Yeah, you do.
And it's a 4-band EQ. You get bass, middle, treble and presence. And on here we have a volume and a battery check.
Yeah.
Which is pretty...
Comes in handy, that. It's a bloody good preamp for the money, I tell you that. So these guitars come with chrome die-cast plated machine heads, and they come with gauge 10 strings as a standard.
When you consider the whole manufacturing process of these guitars, you know, and the fact that they've got to put them onto a boat, ship them over here, pay people's wages, and you can get it to your house for 68 quid. In that alone, I mean, that's an unbelievable achievement, isn't it?
Yeah, it's mind-blowing.
But what makes it even more unbelievable is the fact that these are actually really bloody good.
Yeah, they are. They're playable, but you know, they're more than playable. We could gig with these.
Absolutely, right out of the box without any setup, because these are set up pretty well for a standard cheap guitar.
Yeah.
You could perform a full gig right out of the box with this thing, seriously.
Right, so as we said, right out of the box, it plays amazing, and it's got no problems getting right up to the dusty end. So as you can hear and see, for £68, it's actually a guitar that works and that's functional.
Yeah, exactly, which we think's amazing. I mean, these are really good, affordable beginner guitars.
They really are, but they're not perfect.
We've certainly experienced cheap guitars for beginners of the past, where you can spend an eternity doing something as simple as trying to tune up the guitar, just to find that when you go back to it minutes later, it's returned to being unplayable.
Fantastic. Get a quick brew and we'll crack on. Having to deal with situations like this robs you of hours of playing time when you could be improving. Why even bother? Christ's sake.
We have come across countless beginner guitarists that have not been able to progress and, as a result, have quit due to poorly made instruments.
So we are extremely pleased and surprised that all the issues of the past are not present on this guitar.
So, generally in this cheap acoustic guitar review, we've discussed and praised these guitars, and rightly so.
But there are a few minor things that you can do to this guitar that even beginners can do. We can get these guitars playing exceptionally well.
After reading some negative reviews online, they all had similar issues in common. These included sharp fret ends.
Unfinished frets cause scraping and squeaking and really gives an uncomfortable playing experience.
It does, I mean, you know, listen to that.
Yeah, they are really rough around the edges, yeah.
It's not nice, is it?
No.
These fret ends are trapped. Look, you can do this, it doesn't even...
Anyway, on with the video.
For this basic setup, we sanded down the rough edges, cleaned and polished the frets, along with the body and neck.
We checked the machine heads over and made some minor adjustments to the saddle before fitting some brand new good quality strings.
These simple steps finished off a quick basic setup.
So if you want to see how we set these guitars up, we did it in two different ways. You did like kind of a home-based one with stuff you can find around the house, and I did it a little bit more of a professional setup. Then hit the link here.
The link is also in the description below, but we advise you to watch this video in its entirety first to witness the results before you head to the setup video. Let's cut the bass and see how it responds. Setting the bass to full makes a clear audible difference. cutting the mids resulted in a surprisingly natural acoustic guitar sound. To cut through the mix when playing with a full band, then pushing the mids may help you achieve that. Next, we cut the treble. This can help if your guitar sounds too bright or brash. Pushing the treble can really make those chords sparkle and make them lead runs really cut through. Now let's play a G chord with everything on the EQ set to flat. Let's repeat that chord but cut the presence. And finally let's push the presence and see how that sounds. And finally we finish off this preamp test with a battery check. The only thing Harley Benton haven't managed to do for the £68 price tag is add a built-in tuner, but don't worry, we have you covered. You can pick up this Snark clip-on tuner for about £15. Alternatively, if you are budget conscious and you are just starting out, then do consider downloading the Boss Chromatic Tuner app, which is free and surprisingly accurate. Due to lots of ambient noise, when you do reach the stage, accuracy on these products does go out of the window, so therefore we recommend at this point to get yourself a proper Stompbox tuner. All the gear, tools and equipment that we featured in this video, ranging from the things we've used to set up the guitars as well as strings and tuners, are all listed in the description below, so do feel free to go check them out. If any link we do provide results in a purchase, we receive a small commission as part of the affiliate program that really helps out the channel but results in no extra cost to you. Okay guys, so we picked this up about a week later after setting up these guitars, and we're going to discuss our final thoughts. Starting with yours, what's your initial reaction then to what we've done on the guitars?
Like I say, it's just a basic setup we've done, nice clean of the neck and everything, and just that alone has made it feel a lot more playable because it was really grimy.
It was horrible.
It was, especially this guitar. The neck was disgusting. After a new set of strings, a guitar always feels better after a new set of strings, but it plays really well afterwards. There's little string squeak when you play, and it gets down on the rusty end, plays really well, really even. And really happy with £68.
Yeah, as am I. I think if I'm being super critical, I was expecting less of the grit. There's still, you still got a bit of that. And that's nothing to do with the frets now. The frets are completely clean, the strings are nice, they're a lot better strings. I think it's just the roughness of the fretboard. It's got a very heavy grain because it's not been super machined and super sanded, it's been thrown together for a price, so you can appreciate that. Now, if you wanted to spend any more time on the setup stage, the only thing that I would do, potentially try and fill that grain in a little bit, spend a lot more time sanding and fillering and whatnot to get it smooth. But I think
the price tag, is it worth it?
Exactly, for the price point, this is as close as you need to be with this guitar. Seriously, I mean, I'm super impressed. I'm really impressed. We were discussing whilst off camera that this is something that could take you to intermediate level after a quick basic setup like this.
All you need to do is give the neck a clean, put some new strings on it, lower the action a little bit, and away you go. You know, you really can take this to the stage with you and get quite a few years, especially with such a great EQ as it has.
Absolutely.
You know, I mean, for the price, it's super responsive.
It far outweighs the £68 price tag now, doesn't it?
Does, yeah. I mean, the responsiveness of a note, especially when you're playing chords and you're picking, you can really tell what's being played. And with a lot of cheap guitars, it kind of just muddies and goes mushy. Whereas this doesn't. It really has got clarity for the price tag. It's ridiculous.
I often find a cheap guitar as well, you may be able to play a few chords on it, but when you start getting up to this end, intonation starts to go out of the window. But it doesn't. I mean, you know, it
sounds like an A.
It does.
I don't know, that sounds a bit stupid, but believe me, we've played some guitars and oh god,
you know.
Yeah.
Your intonation remains, which is massively impressive for 68 quid.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
Another thing with cheap guitars, okay, if you got them two, it's worth its money, but the fact that you can actually solo on this as well and bend notes and put vibrato on and it sounds relatively good, you know. You know, it's crazy.
You can hear that roughness a little bit, but it's definitely playable, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
You know, it's not great.
Yeah, you can hear.
Yeah, but like I say, it's not.
But that wouldn't stop you learning or playing.
No.
And a lot of that would go away if you were playing live because it'd be your piezo picking up. Super massively impressed. Another thing that we find vastly improved from this quick basic setup is string squeak. You'll hear back in the intro piece that we played there was so much string squeak, and we're quite aware that you've got to try and lift your fingers when possible, but playing the particular riff we were, that wasn't always possible, and it was very evident to hear with the dirtiness of the frets and the strings and the guitar in general. There was a heck of a lot of string squeak, so that setup has got rid of most of that.
It doesn't matter which guitar you have, you're always going to have string squeak. You can even hear it on professional albums and stuff.
Yeah.
You know, you'll never fully get rid of it, but I'll just play you the segment that I played in the beginning, and it was just really evident, wasn't it, before we changed the strings. Now there's hardly any there. You're always gonna have a little bit.
You're always going to have a little bit, but it's vastly improved. So string squeak is a heck of a lot better. It's worth doing this little bit of a setup for that alone.
Yeah, because the squeak was sometimes louder than the note, which you don't want, which you do not want. But definitely a vast improvement.
Yeah. So, after discussing our final thoughts, we can confirm that these Harley Bentons are really good cheap guitars.
In fact, we would go as far as to say that these are one of the best affordable guitars that we've ever played. We believe that with this simple setup, these guitars are now stage ready.
In fact, we're going to test that theory. We're going to take these guitars out and just see what they can do. So keep your eyes peeled for that video coming very soon. So, tickety boo,
out.